Sports City, chefs, Sports City, chefs. Yeah. Cabby, Taj.
Oh, what's up, Sports City fans? The Sports City Chefs are here on the YouTube channel with Finger Foods, exclusively on the YouTube channel. I am the villain, Barry Jordan. I'm with you for the next who knows however long I'm going to be rambling, talking all things New York Football Giants. As always, I encourage you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, share, whatever you need to do so you can get more content. You can be alerted to when more great content is posted here on YouTube with the finger foods, the lunch break, and the poo-poo platter that we haven't done in a while, but we'll be back on that. I'm in a good mood because the Giants came out with a victory against the Carolina Panthers, a score 25-3. Going into this game, I felt pretty confident in the Giants, not because of the way they've been playing, but I felt that they can get a win against a team that's been struggling. They started the year 3-0, playing really good defense. Sam Darnold taking care of the football, playing well, but then as of the last three games, they've gotten some tough losses, not taking care of the football. The defense still playing pretty well, but not well enough, in the offense not keeping pace with the defense. So the Giants, after a really brutal loss to the Rams the week before, 38-11 loss, the first time anybody had a 38-11 score. They were challenged all week by Joe Judge. Joe Judge came after them in practice, challenged them in the media and in practice and to play with pride, play for 60 minutes. And, it was a tough week of practice. From what I've understood, they hit pretty much all week playing in pads. It was physical, but, a lot of attention to details, little things that they were doing. And it seemed to pay off. Owners John Mara and Jonathan Tisch, who you don't see very often, were at practice this week with the Giants on Friday, speaking to Joe Judge and Gettleman. So, the team is under a lot of pressure, getting it from all angles, and they responded with a nice win. They're probably their most complete win of this, definitely of the season and of a long time. So, breaking it down, what more can you say about the defense? The defense really stepped up and played probably their best game of the season. The last 2 weeks have been tough for the Giants. They gave up over 400 yards to the Cowboys and to the Rams. The Cowboys and Rams scored 44 points and 38 points, respectively. The Giants gave up only 173 yards of total offense to the Carolina Panthers and only 3 points. And those 3 points were in the first quarter. So really inspired defense. The Panthers had a solid drive that stalled due to some nice plays on defense. They got a field goal, and then after that it was 3 and outs and really forcing them into off the field and getting off the field on third down, which was a real key for this defense. The defense basically needed to step up because the Panthers, after those, I think it was like 3 and outs, started to move the football, mixing up the play calling. They did a good job of getting the ball down the field. And then the defense stepped up. James Bradbury, who'd been much maligned this season after being a Pro Bowler last year, came up with a big interception inside the 25-yard line to stop the drive and really kind of give the Giants some momentum. They got pressure on Sam Darnold all game and on PJ Walker, quarterback that came in for Sam Darnold because Sam Darnold struggled. They even got a safety out of it, as Sam Darnold was called for intentional grounding in the end zone, which was a clear call. It was a good call by the referees. This was the first game, we're talking week 7, that the Giants did not give up points inside of 2 minutes to go. They had been giving up touchdowns. They gave up 42 points in 6 games inside the 2 minutes to go. And they didn't give up any points in this game, so it was a nice turnaround. It's a lot of things that you can say the Giants did. They stopped the run. I think Coach Matt Rule, who is a really good coach for the Panthers, I have to give him credit, really wanted to come out against this defense. They mentioned it on the telecast that they wanted to run the ball at least 32 times. The Panthers wound up only running the ball 17 times and getting 56 yards. I mean, they should have ran it a little bit more, but when you're behind, it makes it hard to keep running the football. The Giants have been gashed by the Cowboys and the Rams the last 2 games, but the Giants really stepped up. There was a couple runs that they had early in the game in the first quarter, but I think they made adjustments and the defensive line really played their best game. I mean, you can't say enough about the defensive line. Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams in the inside, really pressing the pocket, controlling the line of scrimmage, controlling the run game. Azeez Ojulari had his best game as a rookie on the defensive end. I really like to see him start and just play. He got to play a lot. Lorenzo Carter actually played pretty well too. Ojulari had 2.5 sacks, had 3 tackles, 4 quarterback hits. 3 tackles for a loss and 4 quarterback hits. And he was really a terror in the fourth quarter when the Panthers had to throw the football. So it was good to see that. Leonard Williams also, having his second straight really good game, finished with 1.5 sacks, 6 tackles, 3 quarterback hits. So it was good to see the defense really step up. 6 sacks the whole game for the defense. Getting off the field on 3rd and 4th down, I think, was a huge key for them. The Panthers were 2 of 14 on 3rd down and 2 of 4 on 4th down. But really, altogether, 4 of 18 on critical downs. And that's really huge for this defense to get off the field and get the ball back to the offense. One thing I have to say is that the offense, wasn't game-breaking. It wasn't great, but I thought the play calling was really good. It really sound. I have to give Jason Garrett a lot of credit. He was able to not let Daniel Jones sit in the pocket because the Panthers were able to get pressure. The offensive line still struggled a little bit, but I think moving the pocket, getting Daniel Jones on rollouts, not only to the right but to the left, and then the RPO plays where, having to have the defensive end stay home or commit really kind of helps slow down the pass rush. Running RPOs off that where Daniel Jones would, keep it and run, or he would hand it off, or just a slant over the middle. Now, the linemen, to my point, struggled in that they were down the field a couple of times and got flagged on a couple of those penalties. I'll get to that in a minute. But really, it was a good job of Jason Garrett really slowing down a fast defense. If you want to slow down a fast defense, you have to get them to stop. So what the RPO does is instead of having them flying around to the football on a stretch play, on a sweep play, they have to stop and think. They have to react and do it in a small space. So that's how you slow down that defense. And I thought he did a really good job. He got the ball to whatever playmakers he had. Darius Slayton playing in his best, his first game in a couple weeks, had 6 catches for, I think it was 63 yards. So he came to play. You got some big plays in the fourth quarter on a 3rd and 9. And it was a rollout to hit Ross near the sideline, and Ross made a move and got the first down. So it was really a nice mix of play calling, getting Evan Ingram involved, the tight end, who was questionable coming into the game with the calf that was starting to bother him during the week, but he made it out there. He played. Ross had a couple nice catches, like I said. Slayton playing. So I thought the play calling was really sound, really kind of covering up some of the shortcomings of the offense, and it was nice to see. Daniel Jones, what more can I say? I mean, we're not looking at him to be an elite quarterback right now. He's not. I think he is just continually improving. I think the game against the Rams, he tried to do too much. I think the pressure got to him, the defensive line pressure. It forced him into some bad habits and into some mistakes. But I've said, I when I'm ready to give up on him, he comes in and he steps up and he plays a good game. They really needed him to play well. Like I said, his stat line wasn't amazing, 23 of 33 for 203 yards and a touchdown. But, adding 28 yards rushing and 16 yards receiving on a really nice one-handed catch. Everybody, please stop saying Odell Beckham. I get it. Everybody's in love with Odell Beckham from the Giants. Okay, great. He's not here anymore. Who cares, right? Let's move on. But it was a nice catch near the sideline that got them some momentum and actually got them into plus territory and eventually scoring. So, he's just steady. Without his weapons, Kenny Golladay missed the game. Sterling Shepard was a scratch with the hamstring. Saquon Barkley is yet to return. I think he'll be back in a week or two. getting Slayton back, but not all the weapons there, still making plays and doing what they needed to do to keep the offense moving. And I'm impressed. I'm not overly impressed. I don't think he's on that elite level, but he's playing well enough to garner more playing time. And we don't. I don't think we have to go back into the draft. But listen, it's still not without missed opportunities, right? I mean, we did do some good things. Like I said, the one-handed catch led to a red zone touchdown for Dante Pettis, who was playing, I think, in his first game of the season. So that was a huge play. The red zone offense still as a whole, not where we need it to be. I mean, we're talking about early in the game when we had it near the goal line. We had a nice play to Kyle Rudolph. He almost got his first touchdown as a New York Giant, but then that was wiped off the board because he stepped on the out of bounds line before crossing the end zone. But you get the ball 3 plays at the 1 yard line and get no points out of it. I agree going for it on 4th down, but it's a combination of one of the bad play calls by Jason Garrett and then lack of execution. So, I mean, is it a play call thing or is it really execution? I mean, 2 runs. The first, it was a 2nd down play, a run to Booker that lost a half a yard because of poor blocking and just poor execution at the point of attack at the center position, who, struggling all year. Then a rollout pass, which I think was a questionable call. It was a good play to have a rollout pass, but to only have one receiver into the passing tree, into the passing route, left him either throw it to him if he's open. If he's not open, you got to throw it away or try to run it. It was just a bad option play, and it didn't work. It didn't fool anybody. And then 4th down, I agree running the ball up the middle, but then you're not executing. Poor blocking. He gets pushed back, doesn't get in. So you get a nice drive. You get a lot of momentum. You started that drive inside the 50-yard line and get no points out of it. I think 4 drives in the first half started inside the 40, on the other side of the field for the offense, inside the 50. They only netted 3 points. It was 5 points because of a safety. So that's troubling. That's stuff that needs to get cleaned up by the New York Giants. Joe Judge has to go back and figure it out. The red zone offense is still atrocious. Less than 30% of the time they're in the red zone, they score a touchdown. I think Daniel Jones threw his first red zone touchdown. So it's penalties that were killing them. Like I said, 2 penalties on linemen where you're running an RPO. Nate Soldier, again, downfield. Always something with Nate Soldier. Then Mike Pert downfield on a play instead of staying at least a yard down the line. So that's mental mistakes. That's stuff that needs to get cleaned up as we, tie off this game. But a good win. It always hurts a lot less when you're making mistakes when you're winning. But the mental mistakes got to get cleaned up. This is a 2-5 team that could be 4-3 if it weren't for the mistakes. So they got to clean that up. So good win, 25-3 against the Panthers. Now we welcome another game. We have a tough game against. Well, I don't know if it's a tough game, but we're seeing the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football at home. The Giants are early underdogs in this game. They are plus 10 to the Chiefs, who are struggling right now offensively and defensively. The Giants should be able to move the football on this defense, but stranger things have happened. I'm not sure of Patrick Mahomes' status yet. He was in concussion protocol after a hit he took against the Titans. Bad loss to the Tennessee Titans. But they said he cleared it and that he should be practicing this week, so I expect him to play. But, listen, Mahomes is making a lot of mistakes right now, so the Giants' defense should be able to get some plays on them. So on defense, so it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a tough one, but it might be another game that the Giants can steal. So we'll see. It'll be fun. But again, listen, thank you for listening. The Finger Foods here on the Sports City Chefs Network. Like I say, hit the like button, subscribe. comment so that you can get more great content. We have shows all week. The NFL Free for All tonight. We have the Callers Cookout on Wednesdays. The Baseball Buffet as the World Series starts tomorrow. I'm sure they'll be recapping Game 1. And then the Crossover Cafe will be back shortly, hosted by a couple of our chefs. So we got content all week. We got blogs on the website, so go check that out. The merchandise, please go get that as well. And like TP would say, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the chefs again. And if they don't know, now they know.
Sports City, chefs, chefs. Sports City, chefs, chefs.